wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody doing today?
They're doing great. I heard them.
Oh, gosh. Give us 1 second here as we go
sharing.
over to our lovely share button here.
Yes,
so
please
that
do
we
the
can
same.
Make sure that we send our message to our private groups, our public private groups.
Yes.
Hey, if you haven't found us, we have free coaching. Coach Darcy has the Weight Loss Project, which is where she's sharing her group to.
Mm-hmm.
And my group is called the Addiction Recovery Center. Is that what it's called?
No. What is it?
Food Addiction and Recovery.
Recovery Center.
Center.
What is that?
That was really professional.
It was very professional.
Oh my gosh. I just shared it over to my group. Yeah, we have a lot of free coaching over there. We feel like it's important to have resources for our people. And so that's why Food Addiction and Recovery is mine. The Weight Loss Project is Coach Darcy's.
Yes.
And sometimes I sneak over there, and sometimes she whispers in my group a little bit. So my group does focus a lot on if you struggle with food addiction. And so, yeah, good morning. Tuesday morning. I just got back from the gym. So I'm a little, I just decided I was going to run home today, jump in the shower and come here all put together. And I'm like, you know what? No, not going to do that today.
No.
So
yeah, this is the new week for my kids being home, and I haven't found the groove of how to slip away to the gym yet.
Yeah.
So
that would be tough.
We'll make it. We'll make it.
For sure. So how are you doing this week?
This week has
been
good. Yeah. I think so. It just started. So
yeah, I know. That's right. It did.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. And
I had a rough coaching day yesterday. I'm all about being authentic, and this is authentic. I had a rough day yesterday. There was a lot on the struggle bus. A lot of struggles here. So, hey, good morning, Amanda. It's good to see you this morning. Yesterday was a long day. I coached from about 10:30 until 8 o'clock at night, and I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, I'm fighting off butterflies.
You got something big happening tonight.
I told God, just want to tell you, God and I have this kind of relationship where I tell him, this is what I won't do.
How does that work for you?
Yeah, it works out until he says, "Oh,
that's
how
funny.
About you speak at church tonight."
That's funny, Monica.
In front of a bunch of women. Yeah, I said, "There's one place that I won't speak." I love speaking to women. I love speaking as much as I hate speaking. I love it. Like it energizes me. It gives me life, and I love sharing hope with women. And so I don't usually turn down opportunities to speak, except I will not speak at church. And so tonight I am speaking at our church. It's a newer church. We've been going there for 3 years. I figured out why I don't want to speak there tonight. And I do want to speak there. I do. But I figured out why. I think it's why.
You were being a Jonah?
Like Jonah?
No, you were being a Moses. That's what you were doing.
See, we went to a church for 26 years, and they knew me through the ugly. Like, and when I say ugly, I don't mean, I was ugly. Although I felt it, if I'm honest. But they saw me through the dark spots of my life. They saw me when I was so very violently ill, and they saw the mean Monica. They saw the rough stuff. And so this new church where we have just found life, and we just found an amazing new life there. They don't know that, Monica. And I almost don't want to show her to them because I don't know why. I just almost want to think everything's fine. You know, I don't want to show them the dark side of Monica. So that's what I'm doing tonight. And then tomorrow morning, oh my gosh, tomorrow morning, again, the butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hero in the whole food addiction world. I have a couple of them, Bitten Johnson being one, that she gave me my voice. But Dr. Vera Tarman is another one. She wrote the book Food Junkies. If you've not read that book, my gosh, go run and get it. Go grab her book yesterday. But I'm going to be on her podcast, Food Junkies, tomorrow. And nervous. She's my hero. She knows everything.
I would definitely be.
There's nothing I could tell her that she doesn't know.
Right.
Already.
Well, she doesn't know your story, so boom.
Right.
Done.
Right. I'm kind of glad she follows my Facebook page and knows me before having me on the show, because I have a couple of opinions, you know? And she sees those opinions. And she still invited me on her show.
Well.
So, gosh, if you think about us, pray for us, me, next couple of days. So.
Yeah. Well, you should learn a lesson. Hopefully you learn this lesson of don't boss God around.
Don't boss God,
because he'll prove to you that, that's not
Monica,
my
that's
plan.
The first place I have you going. It's a sold out event too. It's a sold out event with like 30 people waiting to get in. So, yeah. Oh, I wanted to start out with what do you call that? A
disclaimer?
Disclaimer?
Yes. Disclaimer.
I want to put out a myth that I have heard in the rumblings of the health world.
Oh, no.
That Coach Monica and Coach Darcy have left keto.
Not. That's hilarious.
Oh gosh. So yeah, that was a rumor out there. I got a message. Hey, do you not like keto anymore? And I just wanted to say that's the foundation of everything we do.
It's our safety net.
We believe in metabolic health.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in fixing our bodies from the inside out. We believe that you should not have to live with diabetes. We believe you should not have to live with PCOS. We should not have infertility problems. We should not have high blood pressure. We should not have Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
We should not. And the very foundation of what we do is the ketogenic lifestyle.
Yep.
And so are we leaving keto? No, we're not. We're on a journey right now, and we're doing some biohacking, and we're loving it. Well, I'll speak for me. I'm loving it. I'll let you speak for your own self.
Yeah, please.
It's a step above keto, but it is not for everyone. We would not. In fact, when we talk to our clients, I've turned down several and said, this is not a good fit for you. And so the keto lifestyle is the foundation of our health pyramid, our health, our signature program. We would never, ever start a client out on keto. That is the ultimate food elimination. Now, can you start carnivore and then move into keto? Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, with our help, we're doing that with a bunch of our clients who are on our 30-day challenge. But I will never leave the ketogenic lifestyle.
No, these things that we do and discover or try out, they are just tools. But our safety net initially is keto and will always be keto. We have made that decision to grieve, and I don't like the word divorce, but say goodbye to the standard American diet, because don't get me on that soapbox about America killing us and causing the obesity and the toxins in our body and the struggles. That was my short soapbox. But we use these tools. You don't see us fasting all the time because it's not in our favorite.
No.
Carnivore is a new one where we are needing to detox our bodies a little bit more. So they're just tools in different seasons in our journey. We're excited about it right now, so we're going to talk about it a lot right now.
Keto is sustainable. Carnivore isn't so much.
Right,
it is for some people.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Barry is a full-time carnivore. Carnivore is not sustainable. And if if we have a client come to us and wants to do something for 30 days and it's not sustainable, that is not the lifestyle for them, because we are concerned about reversing their metabolic health issues.
Yeah.
And you can't do that based on 30 days. You can't do that.
Right.
You
Right.
can't even lose weight based on 30 days, right?
Right.
You need a year. You got to mark out a year in order to lose, 50 to 100 pounds.
Right.
And so a lifestyle that is not sustainable is a lifestyle you should not be on. Keto is sustainable. I don't care what
Yep.
they say. It is absolutely sustainable. What's your number of years now?
Going on 5 in September.
7 years here.
Yep.
I would say 7 years would make it a sustainable lifestyle. And
Right.
y'all, that's 7 years with no cheating.
Right.
Never going off plan, right?
Right. Right.
Not perfect. I don't ever want to say that.
No.
but never going off plan. That is sustainable. Keto is sustainable. It's not a fad diet. It's the way our ancestors ate, right?
Yes.
It is up in the air whether carnivore is sustainable. So
Right.
get that myth out of your head. Any client that comes to us does not come to us on a carnivore. We use it as a tool for sure, but
And again, on that note, I do in my personal, I feel fantastic still. I'm beginning my process of, I'm calling it ageless carnivore.
Ageless carnivore, I love
That's what I'm doing it.
I love it.
And focusing in on that. Today is a day where
right here.
yes, today is a day that I am bringing in some carbs, which I haven't had for a month or so. So we're gonna
You might fall flat on your face doing that. I can't wait to watch you. Not fall. You can't wait to watch the process.
turd. I just called you a turd, and with everybody watching me.
I love it. No, I can't wait to watch the process, because you were so vocal about how you feel when you were doing ageless keto, right?
Yeah,
You know
and I
how
still
you
am.
felt.
Yes,
Now, you cleaned out your system,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're going to do it again, and it's going to either be like super powering or crashing. I can't wait to see.
We'll find out. You're
love
such a big sister. I love it.
Oh my
Can't
word.
wait to see you fall on your
I
face.
can't wait to see what happens with it. And what I'm doing another 30 days of strict carnivore. So no, we did not leave the keto reservation. We are still we're doubled down, and we are watching. Oh my gosh, can we just talk about our weight loss support group on Monday?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
It was emotional.
it was emotional.
It was a beautiful emotion.
Yeah, these people are changing their life, like from the inside out. We get a front row seat to watch it, and I was sitting there as we had a Zoom call, and there was about 20 of us, maybe 15 or 20 in there.
Yeah, it was a light day.
It was a light day.
Yeah.
So we could see them up close.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, these people are glowing. All I could think about was they're just glowing. And I had one client that morning in my addictions section, and I just had to stop the whole meeting. I'm like, I got to tell you, you are glowing. You are just radiating something today. And she was wearing pink, and I thought maybe it was her shirt. And then we had that group last night, and it was like one of our clients read our minds, and she stopped and she got teary-eyed, and she was like, I just have to tell you, every single one of you in here are glowing, and your face is getting thinner, and you're beautiful. And so it was just palpable.
Yeah.
Like, we could feel the change that's happening in the group.
And we hope and wish that for everybody.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
just to be able to get to the spot in their life, like this other client has been in a spot in her life where she can be able to watch other people's journey and be seeing a different perspective. And I see that in my walk with Christ, you know, being able to watch other people's journey and how he's using them, especially with the teens, like, because I'm involved with them,
Right.
but just being able to see how God uses these teenagers and being able to, there is nothing better and not I can't even say it now. There's not a better feeling in your heart, in your pitter patter that just gives you so much joy to be able to watch somebody's journey. And it's not the fact that they were all just tan from the sun. Like that, it's helpful that they're out in the vitamin D world, but
Well, and there is a progression when you lose weight on what you lose first. And so
Yeah.
you lose it in the face first. And that's when I can tell that scale is really beginning to fall, is when the face starts to slim down. And then you do get the keto glow about you because your hormones are changing, because your skin is changing.
You're smiling more.
You're smiling. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
We had some women in there who just got new clothes because their other clothes were falling off. And I needed to see that as a coach, because you have the tough sessions, and then you've got the ones that just are like, okay, this is why you are tough, because you want this for every one of your clients. And so it's frustrating sometimes when we can't do the things that we want our clients to do when they don't want it, you know?
Right.
So tough. And that kind of brings us into what we're going to talk about today. And that is mindset. Mindset is everything when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to reversing human disease. Your mindset and what you bring to the table with what you're thinking will impact the end of your journey. If you come into your weight loss journey and say, well, when I get to this weight, then I deserve such and such. I deserve a donut. I deserve to not be restricting anymore. When I get to this number on the scale, then I will. The result of that is 50-pound gain. At the end, you'll hit that number. If your number is 135, you will hit that number. You will take one bite of that donut, and then you will watch it just compile on and on again, right? If you have that attitude, if you have the attitude of just a cheat day won't hurt. Darcy, you want to take that one?
Yeah, just a cheat day won't hurt, because by golly, that's the start of my journey of weight loss. Was I nixed carbs, I knew what were carbs and sugars, and I would have a cheat day once a month with a girls' night out. And then it built upon that, because like everybody else, there's not just one holiday. There's not just one event. We did this every single week. And so I would add another one, and I would binge eat whatever the heck I wanted. You know, I lost 30 pounds and then I gained it back because of that mindset of, you know, oh, just one day I will do terrible.
Well, they do the math in their head.
Yeah.
3,500 calories is a pound. Well, I didn't eat 3,500 calories. So they use the math, you know, as which you can totally do that over a weekend.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. But then, you know, there's the mindset of there is a positive mindset. If you do have a goal in mind and you do hit that number on the scale, then you can turn it around and have a positive goal and a positive reward, but it doesn't have to be around food.
Right.
It could be around other things. So keeping those things in mind is you're not giving in to the things that caused you to be where you are.
Right.
Those are not the things you're going to give into. You're going to change that around tradition-wise.
Right.
And, you know, have a pedicure or, you know, a massage or, you know, fill in the blank of whatever you want to reward yourself with.
Yeah. I have specific weights that I tell my clients to have those things. Yeah. Specific targets. And it's not 100 pounds. It's like 10 pounds.
Yeah. But you got to get to a point where you've got to grieve those foods that you used to consume, because they are going to affect your body completely different. That's why you are where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Well, and that brings us to the title of this podcast today, or the live today, is why we don't believe in intuitive eating. We don't believe in intuitive eating because our intuition is broken. And if you want to argue with me about that, absolutely, I'll bring this fight to the table. How's it worked for you in the past?
Right.
How
are you still in the hamster wheel?
Yeah. You just have to look at your past diet history to know your intuition, honey, is broken. It doesn't work. Just doesn't work that way. Right?
Yes.
And that's the fad now. That's the fad, because these health coaches, let me tell you, I had to say some hard things in some sessions yesterday. No one wants to be that coach. No one wants to do that. So coaches are changing. Oh my goodness, I got this email from this woman of whom I did take a course from because was that at your house? Was there in
Yeah, it
yours?
was my
Okay.
house. It was my dog coming in.
Okay. All right. I thought maybe it was in my head there. But
Nope.
it was this woman who I did learn the art of reverse dieting because that is an official science. And so I learned that. This email I got from her today said, "Welcome to your summer of no restrictions. Do you know what that would do to our clientele?" So it's the fad because nobody wants to say the hard things. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to say step away from the donut.
That's a luring thing.
Yeah,
That
it's
is not
clickbait.
being authentic. It's not being honest. It's
Mm-hmm.
luring you into, oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
if you're going to let me be able to eat whatever the heck I want, then I'm going to
absolutely. I'm
pay
gonna
you
hire you.
money. But it's
And
not
she even said, please send me a picture of you with a donut and you with that glass of rosé. I want to see that on Instagram. Yeah.
those are people that are not worried about not even like the toxins and they don't know
Not worried about
they
weight
know
loss either.
nothing.
Right.
They know
Well,
nothing.
yeah. And the things that you and I are learning right now about the difference of our dieting and as 25-year-olds versus
Yeah.
me who
Yeah.
is lacking a little bit of estrogen right
And you
now.
know, it's funny because I had that exact conversation with a youngster that was super thin, super tiny, never
Mm-hmm.
thought about food. She's like, "Well, I can eat whatever I want and I have a high metabolism and
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever see myself being on a diet ever in my life because
Mm-hmm.
I have a high metabolism." Well, honey, that's not going to last forever.
Right.
Cool, you have a high metabolism now,
Mm-hmm.
but later
Yeah.
you can't, like you posted on your post today and we
Mm-hmm.
kind of learned that like you cannot eat
No.
the same way
No.
at 25
You can't.
when you're 45. You
You
can't do
can't.
that. It's
No.
not.
Insulin resistance clings to those with no estrogen. Well, when you're perimenopause, you are losing estrogen,
Mm-hmm.
estradiol.
Right.
I had even a professional. I'm going to be careful because I love this person to death. But I even had a professional who was slipping back into food addiction, and in this public posting and in this coaching, I'm starting to hear language changing because when we struggle with food addiction, there's no moderation for a food addict.
Right.
Abstinence is the only way. Period. Restriction is the only way if you are a food addict. It's black and white. But what happens, and it happens to me, it happens to you, we call it the red dog syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got this thing in our brain saying, well, you've been on restrictive dieting your entire life. You are restricting your food when you lost 120 pounds. And so you need to learn that restriction is the problem, and it leads to an eating disorder. So what I'm finding is the people that are struggling with relapse, okay, the people who've been free from a food addiction and had been living that way and had the abstinence tone, the abstinence message, when the red dog starts talking, you start buying into the false lies of you can eat anything you want because restriction is bad. Restriction, my friend, is freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll never fall into the category of food addiction, and you're living in recovery versus relapse. So even the red dog says things like restrictions bad, just one bite won't hurt. You know, you can't not enjoy life having that ice cream. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. The red dog is so powerful. He will even trick a food addiction professional
Right.
into relapse.
Right. And it's
It's
just
powerful.
the emotional part for me is the thing that sticks out for the red dog in my
Mm-hmm.
space.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to listen, if I'm an emotional person,
Mm-hmm.
I dive deep into my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that yells at me the loudest
Mm-hmm.
and tells me, it doesn't matter if you do eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You still look, I'm going to use the word fat. You still look
Mm-hmm.
fat to people,
Right.
or you're
Right.
still bigger than the most of the society, blah, blah, blah. All these things are so loud and they're so real
Mm-hmm.
that, those like you got to keep your guard up. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot you cannot
Yeah.
be relaxed. You
No.
can't, then that's the world of intuitive eating. You're
Yeah.
very relaxed and willing to give in at any moment.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I want to show this comment right here because this also brings in another side to intuitive eating that maybe that's not bad. So Amanda says, I made my mindset that if I eat a donut, it would make me sick, and it would actually make me sick, and I don't like that feeling. Ask yourself, how will you feel after you eat the donut, and tell yourself you'll feel bloated. So here's another side of intuition, and we love it when our clients, we teach abstinence, and we do believe in restriction because we believe that certain foods poison our bodies and have caused us to have type 2 diabetes, that have caused us to have all of these things. But here's an intuition that I like. I love it when our clients have a bad weekend. I
and
love
they
it.
fall on their face.
If y'all were here at the beginning of the show, you'll know what that meant. Love it when they fall on their face. No, because I love it when they feel what that food does to them. That's intuition. That's a physical form of, if I eat this sugar, my joints are going to become inflamed. I'm going to feel sick. I'm going to look bloated. I'm going to feel bloated. I'm going to feel like crap.
Your
love
face
that.
is going to hurt.
Yes. Because you actually feel. Then it's not the coach's voices that you're hearing inside. It's that food that's saying, hey, how'd you like eating me? For just 2 seconds, you had dopamine rush through you. Now you're faced with hurt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this kind of intuition is perfect. And this is what we love our clients to do.
Right. And going a little off of that, and what got me through grieving those foods that I would consume is I dissected the food down to the nitty-gritty of the taste.
Yes.
And when you think about what makes something like a donut or pasta taste great, it's not the flour. That doesn't taste good. If you eat spoonfuls of flour and yeast, it's really the sugar and it's the sauces that make the pasta. Now, again, disclaimer, I've never had a true Italian type, like old school pasta.
Oh, not even when you went to Paris?
No, I didn't. No.
Shoot.
I know, but here's the thing, like,
different.
It's different. And most people have pastas out of a box that's pre-made. So unless you're having some authentic pasta, which I've never had before, and I'm sure it's delightful because it's
maybe we should
probably
take a business trip.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to Italy. That's everybody's doing it right now.
Yeah.
So
the practice will have to expand just a little bit. We do that.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the point is I had to dissect the food to be like, you know what? A donut without anything sweet on it kind of tastes nasty. A pasta that's just boiled and cooked. Now, my kids like it because I put butter on it. So really they just like the butter. Like it's not
it's the butter carrier.
Like I'll just give you a stick of butter, honestly. But that's one way. I had to lie to myself too. So
read this one from one of our listeners here. Remember, 1 donut is too much and 1,000 is never enough. Wow. That's addiction. And once I get that, it will help my success in keeping the weight off. That's amazing, Wanda. That 1 donut is too much and 1,000 is never enough.
Yeah.
That's a tweet right there, Wanda.
That is. Go tweet it.
So true. This is why your attitude about your weight loss, your attitude about your healing is what's going to make or break you. If you are so hyper-focused on that scale and you let that scale control your mind, you're going to fail. You will fail. If you change your mindset and understand, and this is why we teach science, and our clients hate the science. I won't speak for all of them. A lot of them hate. They're like, just tell me what to eat, coach. Just tell me what to eat, and I'll do whatever you say. And we're like, no, that doesn't work. What works is you understanding what happens with your insulin. What works is understanding that you are so insulin saturated right now that your belly fat is growing by the minute because your insulin is out of control. And now you're insulin resistant. And now we are bringing on, oh my gosh, this book, by the way, incredible book. It just made I knew this stuff because of course we're trained on this stuff. But when you read it, the foundation of cancer, the foundation of diabetes, the foundation of Alzheimer's, of PCOS, of infertility, is insulin resistance. 80% of us are insulin resistant. If you reverse insulin resistance, you reverse all of those.
Mm-hmm.
It is the cause of heart disease, which is the number one killer in our country. Inflammation. Insulin resistance causes inflammation. Inflammation causes these diseases that are killing us. Insulin resistance is brought on by sugar, carbs, and the unholy trinity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Seed oils. That was the
Seed
third
oil.
one.
That seed oils is terrible.
Oh my gosh. It's insane, you guys. If you could just wrap your brain around, all we have to do is reverse insulin resistance. Darcy, are you reading comments? You look
I
like
am.
you are.
I am.
Hello, meat trait.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, .com. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Wando. She says, do an eat, pray, love trip to Italy for our weight loss group.
There we
That
go.
would
We
be
could
fun.
do a conference there. If only people
Yes.
came to our normal conferences, you know?
Yeah.
We might consider it.
They don't want to pay for that trip to Italy.
I know.
We're not paying for it.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
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 Yep. I agree
and the
with
cool thing, meat. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Meatrition.
Oh, Meatrition.
Get your glasses on.
It's not your name. It's my
She's
eyes.
not
One of
got
the
her
things
glasses on.
as we went over to the carnivore side of things, one of the things that we learned, and we're new to this, you know, we're 30 days into doing carnivore full time.
Yeah.
Myself personally, not our practice, was that intuitive eating. I didn't even need to rely on what if I want this. I didn't want it anymore. It is the ultimate food addiction meal plan. It's absolutely fabulous for that, because you lose the want to intuitive eat the other stuff. You just lose it. You don't have it. And yesterday was a good example for me. I was like, man, we had our weight loss support group right at noon, and I'm like, I have 10 minutes from my one client to our group. I'm like, I could go grab, chicken breasts. I have this out there, and I'm like, I'm not even hungry. Why would I? So I didn't even go out to the kitchen. I just, finished a couple more classes that we were taking, and you just don't think about food anymore. Love it.
Right.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
So, yes. What else?
Well, our next thing about mindset is we're going to talk a little bit about the rushing syndrome. Because I'm not going to just pinpoint. I'm not going to pinpoint it just to women, because men do this too.
They do.
So the rushing syndrome,
what is the name behind that, Darce? I want to give her credit.
Her name is Libby Weaver, Dr. Libby Weaver.
Libby Weaver.
Libby.
She coined the phrase, right?
And she coined the phrase rushing women syndrome. And now I didn't want to exclude men on that, but it is a typical thing for a woman to have this. And
rushing person syndrome.
Yeah. But I'm learning that, through phases and through stages in our life, it gets a lot worse.
It does.
We go through high peaks and we go through low peaks. And then the fact is that we're training our young women right now that this is normal, but it's not normal. This is a not normal thing, and it's not great for a lot of reasons. And in this book, it shows you a page and like a whole chapter, like bullet points of samples of, actually, no, there's more than that. It helps you to identify if you are indeed a rushing woman syndrome, have rushing women syndrome.
That's hard to say.
I think she did like an RWS.
Even that is hard.
That was really hard to think about too. But she's got all these pages talking about if that is you, and by golly, I'm pretty sure it would be 100% of you.
Yeah.
Unless you have taken practice on not being a rushing woman. But the thing that was pretty powerful to me was the why behind a rushing woman. It comes from our relentless pursuit to never feel rejected. Rejection is hard, especially if you want to have purpose in your life. If you are striving to have purpose, you start to do things to not make you feel unwanted or rejected.
Yeah.
And that is why we are always putting ourselves out there to, overstimulate ourselves, overdo it and it's really terrible for your health.
I
By
wonder
golly.
when I don't know the answer to this, but when women started to go to the workforce and they started to have to compete in the man's world, I
Mm-hmm.
think we saw a massive epidemic of the rushing women syndrome.
Yes.
And did you know? Help me with the science behind this, because you're kind of taking this class with me. But one of the things we learned with Dr. Mindy was that as we're younger, our
Mm-hmm.
hormones, they recycle every 30 days. They recycle and they rejuvenate. They go through the peaks and the valleys, and they do that naturally. Well, as we age, and as I'm in the 40s now, as we get to the 40s, our estrogen starts to dip. Our
Yeah.
progesterone is not made anymore. All of the stressors used to rely on those hormones to take care of them and to get you through and to, but now it's all handled by the adrenals, which is
Mm-hmm.
why we have an adrenal crisis with perimenopause, menopause women, and
Yeah.
probably in your age bracket too, Darcy,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I think it's
I think
getting
it's
earlier and earlier.
decreasing. Yeah, it's decreasing because, like
Mm-hmm.
I said, we are teaching our young women that it's normal to be multitaskers.
Yeah. We don't take care of our progesterone the last half of our cycle. Dr. Mindy wrote in this book, I just took the portion of her class on, how to work with women perimenopause. And one of the chapters in this book is, I'm so sorry, progesterone, for how I treated you.
It's so true.
Oh my gosh, y'all. If we just stopped and took care of our hormones,
Mm-hmm.
we would not deal with obesity. We would not deal with all of these things. We wouldn't be in the doctor's
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
You
And a
know?
lot of those younger women out there, they would not be dealing with PCOS. This is not normal. It's becoming more of a common thing.
Yeah.
PCOS is becoming more of a
Oh my
common thing,
gosh.
and it's not normal.
No,
It's not normal.
Infertility is not normal.
It's not.
Infertility is happening because of insulin resistance. If
Yeah.
we could cure that. I want all three of my daughters to have this book. I want them to learn how to eat around their cycle, because if they learn how to do that,
It's a game changer.
game changer.
Game
We're not going to
changer.
deal with those
Yeah.
diseases anymore. And kudos to people like Dr. Barry, who are
Yeah.
saying, you know what, we're not messing with the physicians anymore. We're creating our own.
Yeah.
We're going to actually heal type 2 diabetes instead. He's raising money yesterday. Shout out to Dr. Barry. Go over to his page and donate. He was raising $100,000 for the new Diabetes Association. Forget what he's calling it, but he is going to circumvent the ADA. Pray for him.
Oh, yeah.
Pray for that man for
Yeah.
his protection.
Yeah,
Because he's actually going to cure diabetes.
It's-
Kudos to
it's-
you, Dr.
right.
Barry. We're going to see you
Yeah.
in when are we going to see him? August?
August.
We're
Yeah.
making a road trip.
Yeah.
So I gotta get our hotel, by the way. Side note. Will
Noted.
somebody text me and remind me? This has been all over
Anyway.
the place this morning, but
Yeah.
what we want you to hear is your mindset is everything.
Yeah.
I am telling you, if you have a negative mindset and you get upset over that scale, not going up and, not going down when you want it to, if you get upset over every single thing, you're going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
If you stress out over every single thing, if you find a problem for every solution in this journey, you're going to fail. Relax. I had to tell a couple of clients last week, we're going to pause your coaching for a couple of weeks because they were in a very stressful season.
Yeah.
And there was nothing I wanted them to do extra for me. I said, we are going to have to pause your coaching, and all I need you to do is I need you to get through this busy season, because you will not lose an ounce of weight under this stress. You cannot lose weight with cortisol in your body. And if you're not willing to release the cortisol and you're not willing to chill out, you're not going to see any relief on that scale. So if you're freaking out over not losing a pound this week, your cortisol's rising, you're doing the opposite. You're going to gain weight. Right?
And isn't it the fact that if you are in the perimenopause phase or the menopause phase, that is not helping you jack squat.
Not at all.
You wonder why you're moody and irritable and night sweaty? Well, there you go.
There you go. That is it.
One of the reasons.
Yeah. This is why we're just really buying into the feeding the hormones and feeding the ones that you're losing. You're losing hormones as you age, right?
Yes.
And the men, the men have they have hormones as well, but they have a 24-hour cycle. They get new hormones every 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
For them, it's much easier. For women, it is very complicated. You've got a 30-day cycle, and you should be eating different during every part.
Yeah.
Problem is, we have an instant relief society who says, fix me now, and they're not willing to go through those cycles with us. They're not willing to learn about their bodies or feel their bodies. They're not willing to do that, and they just want to just tell me what to eat.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
If I could tell women out there that are about my age or younger, this is what I would say. I would say it's not normal to have cramps. It's not normal to have irregularity. It's not normal to have PCOS.
Clots.
It's not normal to have blood clots. Nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
When I took action and I'm investing in my future menopause phase, this is what I'm doing. I'm investing in my future menopause phase by getting a hold of myself now. And I've been doing this for a year now. And I can tell you it works. And I know the days when I haven't been paying attention to progesterone very well because I am moody. I'm learning those things. Yeah. So get a hold of yourself now and understand the importance of your nutrition and what you put in your mouth and on your body now so that you can invest in the future you. So you're not struggling. So you don't have a midlife crisis of not knowing who you are or how you're working or why you're acting this way.
Right. Yeah.
Things change.
And if you are curious as to how to eat for your hormones, we have an entire program for that. Coach Darcy and I are going to be one of Dr. Mindy's coaches. And we're going to bring her program into ours. And we already have it right now. We're just getting the official certification, and she's going to actually be promoting us. And as we join her team in that. But it is so powerful. Women have to know about this. They have to know how to eat around their cycle. She was telling something in class yesterday about her team. Do you remember this one? She was talking about her team, and there was 3 women on her team who were struggling with infertility. They were trying to get pregnant. They hadn't ovulated. She put them on this program that we teach. All 3 of them were pregnant within 2 months.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, it's happened to us.
It has. We've had 5 keto babies.
Just our program. We've had lots of keto babies, and
just regular keto did that.
Yeah.
We moved the PCOS.
Yeah.
Now we're bringing in the cycle with that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem with the program, though. And this is what I'm going to try to figure out. Marrying the program you are on now with food addiction. Because we have an instant gratification society. We have women who don't want to learn about their hormones, and they're just like, tell me what to eat. And they're not willing to track their cycles. And because this takes tracking. You have to know where you are in the cycle. They're not willing to do that. And so you bring a food addict into that, and you get into that hormone feeding cycle when you bring up the carbs and you bring up, you add a sweet potato, and you bring a food addict into that. You have a recipe for a hot mess. And so that is the missing piece. And I'm hoping that we find that in the rest of the certification process that we go through. I have a personal interview, or we have a personal interview once I get certified with Dr. Mindy. And that's going to be my question is, okay, I'm 100% into your program, but what do you do with a food addict who is struggling with food addiction, and we have to feed the hormones, So those are the questions that I have, and you might have the answer right now. You could solve it right now.
Yeah, maybe.
You really have to lean into it. You have to lean into and understand how your body works. You have to understand what sugar does to you. So I think you have to understand the implications of food addiction as well as your hormones. So yeah, lot. We talked about a lot today. A
lot of topics, but it all had to do with mindset.
We have a big audience today.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah.
And if you have a question, because we got about 15 minutes left. Do you have any questions? Ask us anything.
Yeah. We've extended our time, which is fine. I like being able to chat and not rush off of these things.
We used to just do a half hour.
Yeah.
And that was before we were professional.
We're so
Hey, did you guys, I want to know this. Have you guys, we had a new podcast drop this morning, Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. So Coach Darcy and I extended do you know we got banned?
What?
We got banned last week.
From where?
On Facebook for our podcast.
Why?
We said the S word.
Oh my goodness, Monica.
I know.
Why'd you have to say that word?
So last week we dropped a podcast on how.
Are you kidding?
I'm not even kidding. My Facebook page is verified, and I got a notice that you are tagged, and you are, because you said the S word. We were
but they can
about
say
how weight loss impacts your sex life. Whoops, we're gonna be.
How else would you say that?
Right. It wasn't provocative.
Your intimate life.
Well, they do that on TikTok. They call it it's SEGGS, and I'm like, why are y'all saying that? Well, I understand that now because apparently you
can't say the old school word.
But last week we talked about our marriages, and this week we dropped a new one this morning on how weight loss impacted our friendships and our relationships, and then we're going to do part 3. I don't know if you talked to Mark about this, but we are bringing in an outside interviewer to interview our husbands. I ran this by Brian this week, and he's like, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's kind of Mark's response to
whatever. I just said, we want to be authentic. I want the authentic answers, and if you're talking to me, you want to be nice. So I don't care if you're nice or not. It kind of scares me a little bit, but we're going to do a part 3 on our husband's response inside. So, yeah, today we dropped our new one, how it impacts our relationships. And it's not all good. Not all good. Mm-mm. Some of it's not.
I kind of forget what I said.
I don't like to re-listen to them. I depend on my friend Kate to say, hey, Monica, that one sucked. That one was horrible. She would tell me that, too, I think.
I hope so. We need some real critiques out there.
Why did you say that?
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't say the S word.
Don't say the S word.
Because even though everybody can say the F word and all that stuff,
I know. Did we have any questions this morning? And tell us where you're watching from.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know. Kate said she would tell me if it sucked.
That's awesome.
Oh, is that a bad word? Is that a bad word?
Yes, you said an S word.
According to others.
You're going to get us banned from Mom's house.
From Mom's house now. Can't keep my mouth. I'm going to be
You're in a weird funk.
Tonight. Yeah. Any questions? Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hey, how is it in Grand Rapids? Do you have that state under control, Wanda? Is everything under control up there?
Oh, man.
I was kind of falling apart.
Yeah. I think.
I had a really good session at the gym today. That is another thing carnivore has helped me with.
Let me tell you.
What? Tell me.
Go ahead. No, you were going to finish. I was just having commentary there. Like, I was just.
Well, so I did some experimenting. And when I say, I got to be careful when I say we don't cheat. Mm-hmm. Because technically apples are so high in sugar. Right?
They are very.
So I choose to not eat high glycemic foods, right? It's a mini California. You can't get Gretchen under control, can you? Oh, man. And she was delivered from California 15 years ago. Oh, bless your heart, Wanda. So I did an experiment before, probably last year, where I'm like, how can I feel better in the gym? How can I get power? I was really frustrated that I was weak. I felt sick all the time. So I tried it in a fasted state. I tried, and then I pulled out the apple card. So I would have an apple an hour before, tried protein powder, and I felt a little bit more energy for a little bit when I did that. But I noticed now that I'm carnivore, I have consistent strength. And I'm not strong because I'll never be strong yet. Negative mindset.
I was just about to correct you there. Like, really? Okay.
Let's talk about positive mindset.
Yes. Yet. Power words.
Yes. But now I'm not strong yet. I feel like I'm at the bottom of my class. And that's okay. I'm fine there because I'm getting stronger. But I do feel now that it is a consistent strength. And our friend Meat Trition probably could tell me why on that because this is new to me.
Yeah, you're feeding your muscles.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. And I can tell you based off of doing the, what do we call it? Our ageless keto.
Mm-hmm.
There's another word for it. What does Mindy call it? Fasting like a girl.
Keto biotic.
No, fasting like a girl. Like
Yeah.
what she does. Knowing that you're supposed to relax the week before your bleed cycle,
right,
to build the, to utilize
Nurture.
that progesterone, to keep it calm,
Mm-hmm.
and to feed that. When last week when I was in that phase and I did a HIIT class, I was like, why do I have so much energy and I feel so strong? And usually this is a week where I can only lift 5 pounds. and I didn't feel sick. I felt very energetic, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I would do that every single time. That is a long.
I don't know where
that
that
is
link
a
is
long
going to take
link.
you. I don't know.
By golly.
It could take you somewhere, but just trying to drop the
That's
link.
funny. Sorry, I saw it. But with going carnivore, I'm noticing that I can see my muscles more. Like it's being more defined. And I think it's just because we're feeding our muscles what it wants.
Right.
And there's that understanding of higher carbs is going to feed the sugars in there. And I'm sure there's science behind that too. But there's that crash then. Like you get that crash afterwards. So and I always wonder when I go into PF or Planet Fitness, if I call it that. That's where that's my side hustle exercise place. They have a big bowl of Tootsie Rolls. Does yours?
Oh, yes.
Why?
They do.
I'm like, we don't need this nonsense.
Well, a lot of people think they do. They think they need that sugar.
That's the wrong sugar.
Now,
anyway,
I'm going in a fasted state. So I'm not eating before I go. And I'm still finding the power in the gym. I'm finding the sustained power. So I'm wondering, what if I tried to eat a couple of hard-boiled eggs before I go? I don't know what that would do.
It'd be like an hour or two because I always feel gross.
Yeah.
I feel like everything's sloshing in my gut and wanting to go up.
I don't care for that feeling. I didn't feel that with the apple. I didn't feel that yuckiness. So I wasn't too mad about that. But yeah, big difference now.
Nobody has questions.
We
y'all know the answers to everything.
We answered them all.
And you might.
If you wouldn't mind, when you listen to our podcast, would you leave us a review? I don't even know how you go find the reviews, but that really helps us get our message out to people.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Our podcast is dropped every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. So you can find us both places. We also rerun this live on Thursdays for our podcast. So if you ever miss our live, you can always go back and find us. But we will post those on our podcast.
Yep.
So if you're struggling, guys, don't do this thing alone. You need people. And that's what we do. That's what we spend our lives doing. We get to get up every morning and we get to sit with people. We get to help them, troubleshoot with them through the struggles of weight loss. And that's why we coach. So if you have tried this alone and you just say, I can't do it anymore, reach out to Coach Darcy and myself. We have spots available. Our signature program is the 3-month. We can get you through a lot of junk through 3 months. So feel free to reach out to us. Sign up for a coaching program. We're going to do another carnivore challenge, probably in the fall, maybe. But right now, if you want to get a spot on our calendar, just reach out to us and ask us. Always ask us questions. We love to answer them. So, all right. Well, we will see you. Do you have any final thoughts, Darcy? Don't mean to cut you off.
No. Just we're here if you need assistance and to get you on the right foot. And focus on that mindset and that stress that you're building.
That's right.
The word no is really important.
It's really a powerful
and to
word.
balance that stress out
Yep.
for anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
Or no period.
I tried to tell God no. Tried to tell him, and here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I
right,
got.
Everybody. Well, we will see you next Tuesday morning at 11 a.m.
Toodles.
Bye-bye. Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups over at Food Addiction and Recovery I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great. We can